the show can go on forever and ever and ever.
Come on, you fuzzy son of a...
Step into the shadows with 10 terrifying hidden horror gems you can stream right now. From pulse-pounding scares to twisted tales of terror, these chilling pics will crawl into your mind and stay there. Number 10, Mom and Dad.
Are you two all right?
We're not coming out, okay? You have to leave.
You're going to open this door!
Carly and Josh are ordinary suburban teens living under the watchful eyes of their parents, until one day, without warning, something unexplainable infects the adults of the world. In a sudden, uncontrollable frenzy, every mother and father turns on their children with murderous intent, and survival becomes a deadly game behind familiar doors. As the siblings barricade themselves inside their home, they're forced to outwit the very people who raised them, while the walls around them echo with rage, confusion, and bloodlust. Outside, society crumbles under the weight of something primal, something no one can understand or stop. Mom and Dad is a brutal, chaotic horror satire that flips the family dynamic on its head. Number 9, Here Comes the Devil.
¿Qué es?
Hay algo malo que está pasando con ellos.
During a quiet family trip, 2 children vanish near a desolate hillside cave infamous for strange local legends. Hours later, they return, calm, unharmed, but disturbingly different. Their once innocent behavior now masked by eerie silence and chilling outbursts, forcing their parents into a slow-burning panic that unearths something far darker than trauma. As sinister signs mount, whispers of ancient evil resurface, suggesting the children who came back may no longer be theirs. The line between natural and supernatural begins to dissolve, replacing grief with raw, creeping dread. Every glance, every shadow becomes a harbinger of something unspeakable. The film is a sun-soaked nightmare that explores how evil doesn't always knock. It sometimes comes home wearing a familiar face. Number 8, Howard's Mill.
When the lights came back on, she was gone.
I just look.
When a woman vanishes without a trace on a remote Tennessee farm, a documentary crew arrives to uncover what really happened at the place locals call Howard's Mill. But as they dig deeper, they uncover decades of strange disappearances, eerie coincidences, and stories too bizarre to dismiss. Interview tapes blur with lost footage, and every clue leads further into a void where time seems fractured and the land itself feels cursed. The investigators find themselves drawn into a mystery far beyond what the cameras can capture, as the farm's dark history rises from the soil. Whispers of the missing linger in the wind, and the truth once found may never let them go. Howard's Mill is a chilling found footage horror that feeds on absence, silence, and the terror of vanishing without a trace. Number 7, Caveat. Isaac wakes with fragmented memories and desperate for money when he accepts a strange job caring for a troubled woman named Olga. In a remote house on a secluded island, he is forced to wear a leather harness and chained to restricted areas of the home, ostensibly to protect Olga when she slips into catatonic episodes. As night falls, Olga's behavior grows more erratic. Voices echo through walls, a toy rabbit drums eerily, and hidden passages reveal secrets best left buried. Haunted by fragments of his past, Isaac slowly realizes he may be trapped not just by chains, but by the house itself. Caveat is a taut psychological horror that fuses spectral dread with human guilt. Number 6, Exhibit A.
I am not the only one with secrets.
Look, will you stop being frightened of me?
Judith King receives a camcorder from her father and begins filming daily life in their home, capturing every mundane exchange until subtle cracks begin to surface in the family's facade. Her father, Andy, driven by mounting debt and the pressure of a failed career, slips into secrecy, mood swings, and untruths captured unwittingly on tape. The footage shifts from ordinary to ominous. Strange confrontations, hidden resentments, and a rising tension that turns the domestic sphere into a chamber of dread. As Judith's camera becomes the only witness to her father's unraveling, the boundary between documentarian and victim dissolves. Exhibit A is a harrowing found footage descent into collapse and betrayal, where every frame trembles with dread and the worst horrors emerge from within. Before we move to number 5, I want to ask you something. I recently started a new channel called VHS Screams. It's where I tell true, terrifying stories mixed with chilling fiction, all in first person. So you feel like you're living the nightmare yourself. Each story pulls you deeper. The sounds, the fear, the moments that stay with you long after it's over. It would honestly mean the world if you checked it out. The link's in the description and at the end of this video. Only if you'd like to, no pressure. Just if you want to step a little further into the dark with me. Number 5, Long Pigs.
Business.
Oh my God. That did it. Whoa.
Two struggling documentary filmmakers chase their breakthrough when they meet Anthony McAllister, a calm, articulate man who admits to being a cannibal and invites them to document his life in full. At first, the project promises shocking exposure. Intimate conversations, gruesome meal preparations, and shocking confessions are all captured on film. As the lines between observer and participant blur, the filmmakers become complicit in Anthony's narrative, torn between fascination and revulsion. Hidden inconsistencies in his stories spark suspicion, and an interview with the victim's father unleashes a confrontation that shatters the veneer of control. Long Pigs is a mockumentary that weaponizes the camera, exposing how voyeurism and exploitation can become monstrous in their own right. Number 4, The Devil's Candy.
He uses us to carry out his unspeakable deeds.
A struggling painter, Jesse Hellman, moves with his wife Astrid and daughter Zoe into a remote Texas home, hoping a fresh start will finally ignite his creativity. But once they settle in, Jesse begins hearing a demonic voice that seeps into his dreams, bleeding into his art and blurring reality. Strange drawings emerge, the walls whisper, and a former occupant's shadow looms large as their sanctuary turns into a conduit for malevolent forces. Every chord Jesse strums awakens darker designs, pulling the family into a vortex of possession and obsession. Directed by Sean Byrne, The Devil's Candy fuses heavy metal ambience with classical horror dread. It's a haunting descent where the soul itself becomes art, and creation is the vehicle of corruption. Number 3, Good Manners.
É menino forte, Ana.
Clara, a quiet nurse from the outskirts of Sao Paulo, lands a job as live-in nanny and caretaker for a wealthy, mysterious woman named Anna, pregnant and isolated from her family. As the two women form a fragile bond under the guise of care and companionship, Anna's pregnancy begins to stir strange cravings, sleepwalking episodes, and inexplicable transformations that betray something inhuman. When a fateful full moon night brings forth a birth that shatters hope and understanding, Clara finds herself bound to a creature she never imagined she would love. Every lullaby, every secret becomes a cipher in a tale of motherhood twisted by the monstrous. Good Manners is a poetic, genre-bending horror fable that turns nurture into nightmare and asks which monsters we are born with and which we become. Number 2, Deep Red.
The building. What are you doing messing around with this business anyway?
Marcus Daly, a British jazz pianist living in Italy, witnesses through a window the brutal murder of a psychic medium in his building. Shaken, he becomes obsessed with uncovering the killer's identity. Teaming with the tenacious journalist Gianna Brezzi, he navigates a maze of hidden symbols, fragmented memories, and mounting corpses as clues disappear and suspects shift. With each revelation comes more violence, more delirious imagery, and a stain of red that seems impossible to cleanse. The film plays in the spaces between vision and memory, blurring who watches and who is watched. Deep Red demands the viewer to become detective, conspirator, and terrified witness in its bloody, hypnotic spiral. Number 1, Housebound.
I'm gonna smash it in the face.
When you put an overactive mind in an inactive environment.
Kylie Bucknell is sentenced to 8 months of house arrest back in her childhood home after a bungled ATM heist, forced to live under her estranged mother Miriam's roof. From the first creak in the floorboards to the shadows flickering in hallways, she grows convinced that her mother's claims of a haunting might hide something more sinister than superstition. As Kylie digs through hidden passageways and family secrets, she and a dabbling ghost hunter named Amos confront trembling walls, partial dentures, and a tangle of delusions and evidence that refuse to stay separate. Every locked room whispers of past wrongs, illusions, and something far darker than grief. Housebound is a deft horror comedy labyrinth where fear and humor intersect, turning household familiarity into a pulse-throbbing riddle of ghosts, guilt, and shifting truths. Here are 4 other movies you have to see. Home Movie. A series of disturbing home videos chronicles the decline of a seemingly perfect family as their twin children begin to exhibit violent, psychotic behavior. As the parents struggle to maintain control, each tape captures the unraveling of their sanity and safety. What begins as quirky parenting footage descends into a chilling document of horror unfolding behind closed doors. Horror in the high desert.
The more spooked that he got, the feeling of dread, the sixth sense that he needed to get out.
After a seasoned hiker disappears in the Nevada wilderness, a mockumentary team investigates the strange clues left behind. Through interviews, recovered footage, and eerie digital breadcrumbs, the truth reveals something more terrifying than a simple missing person case. The desert becomes a backdrop for dread, where silence and isolation mask something inhuman. The house is October built.
You want to be a pretty dolly like me?
A group of friends sets out on a road trip to find the scariest haunted house attractions in America, filming their journey for a documentary. Along the way, they encounter actors who seem a little too committed and rumors of an extreme underground haunt called Blue Skeleton. The Banana Splits movie.
Let me out! Now the show can go on forever and ever and ever.
A boy's birthday visit to a live taping of his favorite children's show takes a violent turn when the animatronic characters malfunction. Programmed with a deadly new directive, the Banana Splits go on a murderous rampage against anyone who tries to stop the show. The nostalgic whimsy of Saturday morning TV turns into a mechanical bloodbath.